Salam sejahtera and welcome to my presentation. My name is Sheng and I am from Group 2. This video is going to present about the other three departments, which are the Department of Earthwork, Erosion and Sedimentation, and Costing and Estimation. First of all, I would like to start my minor presentation with the Earthwork department. Earthwork is a process whereby the surface of the earth is excavated and transported to and compacted at another location. This slide shows how the Earthwork department done their tasks. Total, there are 6 tasks that they need to conduct. First is site inventory, purpose level, calculation for cut and fill volume, draw the cut and fill zone figure, draw the cross-section, and slope stability. Site inventory is to determine what is the infrastructure in the proposed plan. It has to determine the highest point, lowest point, and the total area of the project area. Site inventory phase also has to determine the traffic entrance for the truck. Purpose level phase is a very important phase in Integrated Design Project 1 because it will affect the job of other departments. In this phase, Earthwork department has to provide an ideal purpose level based on the control level height. The suggested purpose level will affect the quantity of cut and fill volume, and the design of road gradient and slope class will be affected by purpose level. The maximum difference between each reduced level is 2.5 meters. Earthwork analysis stage is a stage for the calculation of cut and fill volume. The volume is calculated by grid method. There will be an example calculation and figure shows what is grid method after this slide. The percentage difference between the total cut volume and total fill volume is 40.33%. The scale used for grid method is 30 times 30 meter. The smaller the grid, the more accurate the result. This is the example calculation and figure of grid method. Cut and fill zone is drawn to let the engineer have a clearer image on which area is filled and which area will be cut. In our group, red color represents cut zone while blue color represents the fill zone. The figure was drawn by AutoCAD software. This figure showed the cut and fill zone of northern zone of the project area. It is filled with red and blue color, which represent cut zone and fill zone. The purpose of cross-section drawing is to imagine the construction component has been cut across from its center. With the existence of cross-section drawing, it makes the plan easier to construct by supplying more detail about the both structure and enclosure. Lastly is the slope stability. Slope stability is a process of calculating and assessing how much stress a particular slope can manage before it fails. You have to always make sure the factor of safety for a slope is greater than 1. In our project, we use by-shot method to determine the factor of safety. No doubt, Earthwork department has faced their issue, but they managed to solve it by finding the solution. The issue that they face is every stage of earthwork is very time-consuming, and so they have to improve the time management to complete the task. Next is the understanding of the concept. They solve it by search information from Google or books. Next, I will elaborate conceptually what I have done by Erosion and Sedimentation department. There are 3 steps for the Erosion and Sedimentation department to fulfill their tasks. Analyze the project area, determine the location of the facilities, and do the calculation by using the Excel sheet. In this phase, they will check the natural flow of runoff and check which location is suitable for silt fence, temporary drainage, sedimentation basin, and wash bay. The project is cut into 4 catchment areas for calculation part. Next step is determine the location of facilities. Silt fence is placed at the boundary of project site, and its function is to cut down the amount of soil that escapes from disturbed area. Some contractor may choose not to put silt fence at higher elevation. Because of soil normally it will expose to the lower reduced level. But in our case, our group decided to put it at every boundary. The silt fence will be removed after the construction. Temporary drainage is placed near boundary of the project site. It is to regulate the flow of rain and runoff to diverge the water flow into the discharge point. Sedimentation basin is placed at the lowest point and discharge point. In our project area, there are 3 discharge points. Wash bay is placed at the truck entrance point. The function of it is to wash out the sediment, so the sediment will not bring out by the truck and cause pollution. This is the figure of the location of the facilities, what our group decided to locate it. Next, the calculation part is calculated by using the Excel sheet. The calculation is divided into 4 parts due to we are having 4 catchment area. The step and parameter of calculation are referred to MASMA. The problem that faced by erosion and the sedimentation department is at the calculation for the slope. They encountered a result of very big slope when they did their first calculation. They solved it by redesigning the temporary drainage into horizontal and vertical drainage. The figure of drainage can be found in the previous slide. After they redesign the drainage, they get a moderate slope, which is suitable for our result. Cost and estimation is a practice of projecting the financial and other resources required to accomplish a project within a stated scope. Is known as cost estimating in project management. Cost estimation estimates a total number that sets a project's budget by accounting for each aspect required for the project, from materials to labor. Total, there are 6 steps to fulfill the cost and estimation task. Planning for the project area, specification of project area, choose machinery, calculation for cost, create bill of quantities and value engineering. Planning phase is an initial plan including the completion of the project. The duration for it is 225 days. The planning stage have to estimate the duration for site clearing, excavation, dewatering, transporting, filling, and compaction. We also need to check which project area have to remove tree while which area could remain it. The specifications is about the guide for what should we do when conducting site clearing, excavation, dewatering, transporting, filling, and compaction. Specifications stated clearly the job that have to be done. In this phase, we have to do survey on the machinery that could be used for the task stated in specifications. Decide whether buy or rent the machinery. Choose the most economic and efficient machinery that can be used in this project. List down the cost per unit and output per day of every machinery chosen. The calculation that being done is based on the activity that going to conduct in project area. The calculation is based on the machinery chosen. After did the cost calculation, we have to make a table for bill of quantities. The bill of quantities is a summary of the cost and what activity will be conducted in this project area. The information included the activity, description, unit, quantity, rate, and the amount of each activity. The cost for the project is around 3.7 billion ringgit Malaysia. The cost is calculated based on a standard method of measurement. Lastly, we have to apply the value engineering to our cost calculation. Value engineering is applied to reduce the cost while maintain the quality. Our project has practiced the value engineering since the beginning of the stage. We reduce the cost from the labor, which is choose the foreign worker instead of local workers and the imported soil with 9 ringgit Malaysia per meter cube. In results, the cost was saved around 600,000 after applied the value engineering. The problem that faced by cost and estimating department is when they are doing the value engineering. This is because they already applied the value engineering at early stage of calculation, so it is a bit tough for them to find the factor that could save the cost. They solve the problem by choose foreign worker and find a cheaper soil provider. Next, they also face issue when they are collecting the data. A lot of data was not open to the public, so they have to do more survey on it, and some information I get from the CIDB. Thank you for watching my presentation.